The problems for my videos can be downloaded from my website, tonybell.com. Go to the website, click the PDF link. You'll see there's no sign in, no sign up, nothing like that. Just 100+ pages of accounting exercises. Many of the exercises are free and open, about 40%. And if you're working through those and finding you're getting great value out of them, you might consider joining and getting a channel membership that has access to the other 60% of the videos. All right, let's jump into today's exercise. Let's jump into problem 1.2a. This has us identifying costs and going over some cost concepts. It says the following are costs of big rig trucks, a manufacturer of large diesel vehicles, and there's a list of costs, and it says for each cost identify whether it's variable or fixed. Now it dawns on me as I start the problem, we haven't introduced these concepts, so I'm going to briefly introduce them. If you feel like, oh, I know variable or fixed, I know product and period, and I know material, labor, overhead, selling, and min and R&D, if you know all those terms and you're good at them, skip ahead about 3 minutes till I'm making like X's in this table. But if you're a little shaky, I think this will be very useful to you. I promise it will be, in fact. So first, talking about variable and fixed, a fairly straightforward concept. We're making trucks. A great example of a fixed cost is a property tax. So let's say our property tax for our factory is $10,000. If I make 100 extra trucks, my property tax is still $10,000. My property tax doesn't change just because I made more trucks. Now, let's say there's airbags in every truck. Well, my airbag cost changes with every truck. Every truck gets more airbags, and I would expect my airbag cost, if I made 100 more trucks, well, guess what? I'm going to have 100 more airbags or more than that, and that's cost will rise with the truck. So variable cost changes the more trucks I make, fixed cost stays the same. Probably you knew that. But the next category might be a little shakier for some people, and it's really worth diving into. A product cost is a factory cost. It's a cost of making the product, right? And that should make some logical sense. So it's a cost involved in I always call it in the factory. That's how I want you thinking of it. Now, it could be if you make a burger, as we'll discuss in a minute, it's a kitchen cost. Like wherever you make the product, it's cost associated with running that building, essentially running that production. Period costs are outside of the factory. So the factory costs include material, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead. And you're going to see me use these abbreviations all class. DM, direct material, DL, direct labor, MOH, manufacturing overhead. And let's just discuss that in terms of making our burger. I always put this up and I ask my students, well, what's the direct material of making the burger? And every student gets it right. You're probably getting it right at home right now. Can you guess what are the direct material costs of making a burger? Well, let's see. I have some pictures here. Yeah, these are the typical direct material costs of making a burger. We got the meat, we got the cheese, we got the tomato, we got the bun. There's some lettuce in there. Those are the direct material costs. And these are pretty obvious and in fact very easy to track, right? I can say, well, there's, $1 worth of meat in every burger. There's 25 cents worth of cheese in every burger. Like you can even cost it out. And you don't have to be an accounting wizard to get close with your material cost. So that's material, and we could do the tomato and the bun as well and figure out, well, what's the material cost in our burger, and again, be pretty close. The next category of cost is the labor cost, and that's the cook's cost for the time they're making the burger. So let's say the cook makes $20 an hour and they make the burger for 6 minutes, say, so 10% of an hour. Well, the cook's cost on that burger is $2, right? The cook spent 6 minutes, that's 10% of an hour. Their wage is $20 an hour. It's about $2 worth of chef's cost that we track to the burger, and we call this cost direct labor. Now, when they're working on different food or when they're cleaning the store, when they're sitting there looking at their phone, not direct labor. But when they're cooking the burger, that time is direct labor cost. The third category of cost, this is our overhead cost. We call these indirect factory costs. So if I want to cook burgers, if I want to have a kitchen, I got to have gas for the stove, right? I got to heat the grill or whatever that utility cost is. Now, how many dollars worth of gas went into that one burger? I don't know. It's hard to figure out. I got to keep the lights on, right? I can't have a kitchen that's in the dark. So there's lights in the ceiling. I got to pay the utilities on those lights. How many dollars worth of lighting went into that burger? I don't know. I got to keep a clean kitchen. I got to buy cleaning supplies and I use them every day in the kitchen. How many dollars worth of Mr. Clean or whatever cleaning implement I use? How many dollars worth of cleaning supply went into the burger? I don't know. That is overhead. And in fact, overhead is where we're going to spend a ton of the early part of this course, because material and labor you can figure out. Like, you don't need your accounting degree to figure out there's $1 worth of beef in this burger. You know what you paid for it. You know how much you put in. It's not complicated. Labor, you just know how long it takes a cook to make the burger, and you do some math on their hourly wage and you go, okay, that's how much wage went into this. How much heat and electricity went into this burger? That's a different proposition, and that we spend a lot of time on. So I wanted to introduce that concept here. I will be introducing this again in future videos. You'll see this explanation come up, but I think this is our first time discussing, so I thought it was worth spending the extra minute or two. Selling, admin, and R&D are our period categories, and these are outside of the factory. So selling, think of advertising or marketing, think of salespeople's salaries, and delivery costs are a key part of selling. Administrative costs, I always think of as office costs or business-related costs. So president's salary or the president's, secretary or personal assistant, those costs, or, the accounting office, those costs, those would be admin costs. R&D, researching a new product. We are spending money to make a new product line or improve our product line. That's an R&D cost. And again, that's not a factory cost. Okay, now that was enough preamble. Let's jump into it. Aluminum, used in manufacturing each truck's body. Okay, so aluminum, pretty core part of the truck. If I made 10% more trucks, if I made, 100 more trucks, am I going to use more aluminum? The answer is yes, absolutely. And if I make 100 fewer trucks, I'll use less aluminum. This is variable, right? It varies with the amount of trucks I make. Is this a product cost? Is aluminum going into the truck? Yes. Is it material, labor, or overhead? This is a material. So fairly straightforward one to start us off. Let's move on to the factory supervisor salary. This one's less straightforward. I'm here to tell you, you read the word salary, your assumption should be fixed. It's not always the case, but it should be. The assumption should be fixed. If we made, let's say 10% more trucks, am I paying my factory supervisor more? Presumably not, right? They have an $80,000 a year salary. If they make 10% more trucks or 10% fewer trucks, their salary is going to be their salary. Product or period? Well, did it happen in the factory? You'll hear me ask that question a lot. If it happened in the factory, assume product. If it happened outside of the factory, assume period. The factory supervisor salary happened in the factory, so we assume product. Is it material? No. Is it labor? Well, kinda. Is it overhead? Maybe. Let's debate and discuss. If the factory supervisor is putting their hands on the product, we would call it direct labor. Direct labor is the cost of the person who's spending time putting their hands on the product. The name supervisor suggests to me they're not very hands-on. Maybe they troubleshoot and solve problems. They're supervising other people who have their hands on the product. If that's the case, and that's most likely the case since they're a supervisor, we would call them an indirect factory cost. We would call them overhead. They're not having their hands on the product. Number 3, company president's salary. Again, salary, my Q is fixed. If I made 10% more trucks, or if I made one more truck, I don't pay the president more money. If I made one fewer truck, I don't pay the president less money. Salary's fixed. Product or period, president's in an office somewhere. They're not in the factory. It's period, and it's a business cost. This is admin. This is president's an administrator. This is an admin cost. Let's continue. I think I put that on the wrong line. 4, cleaning supplies used for daily cleanup. Okay, let's say I made a couple extra trucks today. Do I spend more on cleanup? Probably not. This is probably fixed, right? I clean up once a day, whether I made 10 trucks or 20 trucks that day. I would call this fixed. If you know the business better and you go, no, it actually goes up and down, the more trucks, then make it variable, but my assumption would be fixed reading this. And so, but if it's a real company and you know, then you make it whatever it should be, but I think fixed makes most sense here. Is this in the factory? I'm going to assume yes. They didn't say office cleaning expenses. If it was office, we would call it admin, but I assume this is cleanup of the factory, in which case we call it product. Is this direct material? No, the cleaning supplies don't go into the truck. It's not part of the truck. Is it labor? No, it's got to be indirect. It's overhead. Wages of workers who build the engines. This is another source of frequent debate in my class, but I'm here to tell you wages of workers building the engines. This is a variable cost in every intro management accounting course. And the idea is if you're making more trucks, you're going to be spending more on labor. If you make fewer trucks, you're going to spend less on your labor. You're bringing in more people as you get busier, you're bringing in fewer people, giving fewer shifts as you are less busy. Wages are generally assumed to be variable, particularly wages of frontline workers, which again is debatable, and I know it sort of opens a political discussion that I don't want to have today. So just read your textbook. You'll see they'll call wages of workers variable. Is it product cost? Yeah, they're building the engines, and I would call this a direct labor cost for sure. Patent lawyer's cost. It doesn't matter if I make more trucks, I pay my patent lawyer the same thing. I'm patenting some new invention. It doesn't matter if you make 1 truck or 50 trucks, you're paying the patent lawyer the same. Or if you make an extra truck, right? There's no extra cost. Product or period? Well, patent lawyer's not working in the factory. This is period. And I would say a patent lawyer is R&D. This is related to a new product line, right? You're patenting something new, presumably. That's what a patent is. Accounting fees, absolutely fixed. Doesn't matter if you make 1 or 2 new trucks or 1 or 2 fewer trucks, 1 or 2 more or 1 or 2 fewer. You're paying your accountant the same thing. Is the accountant working in the factory building the truck? No, they're outside of the factory. This is business cost. This is administrative. Shipping paid on deliveries to customers. You make more trucks, you're going to make more deliveries. You make fewer trucks, you're going to make fewer deliveries. This would be variable. The more trucks you make, the more you're spending on delivery. The less trucks you make, and it would be directly proportional. I think variable is clearly the answer there. Is the shipping happening in the factory? No, it's happening outside of the factory. This is a period cost, and shipping, you will see this over and over again, is a selling cost. All right, you've made it to the end. I've made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching, folks, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. The next video in our series is right up here, and if you want a supercut of all of the videos in this series, that's the one down below.